Drill, baby, drill. Those are famous words of John McCain in his quest to promote offshore drilling. Now, off the coast of South Carolina, we have what most people accept as a large supply of oil. This oil is the key to getting through our energy crunch. Now, granted, this is a short-term solution, but the way this can work is the farmers, which are the basis for everything that goes on in South Carolina, seeing as the #1 industry in South Carolina, the farmers are able to use more energy at a lesser cost to them, which then trickles down because the middleman, such as the trucking companies that transport the produce from the farmer to the grocery stores, which I love grocery stores, by the way, they're able to transport that produce at a lesser cost because the fuel isn't that much, because they're getting the oil or the fuel at a closer location off the coast. Now, that trucking company is able to transport their products at a lesser cost, which means the grocery stores don't have to pay as much for their shipping fees. Now, that translates to you and me, the consumer. Now, I don't know about you, but a lesser cost to me, even for maybe 10, 15 years, which is the main optimum goal for a quick-term solution, that seems a lot better than having to go and pay so much for such a low amount of groceries. Now, granted, like I said, this is a short-term solution. We still need to be looking into alternative fuels such as corn or switchgrass or soybeans. But this can help us ease the economic and energy crunch that we're going through and get us into a better future. Thank you.
Last summer, when pit bulls and lipstick and $4 gas prices made front-page news, a battle cry of "drill, baby, drill" could be heard nationwide. Throughout the United States were untapped oil fields waiting to be drilled so fuel prices could be lowered. One of these new drill sites might be off the coast of our own South Carolina. On January 13, 2009, a bill was introduced into the House of Representatives that would allow for the permitted exploration of possible offshore drill sites in South Carolina. This bill was met with much controversy from the public. Conservationists are concerned with the environmental impact of offshore drilling, and skeptics do not believe in the economic feasibility of such a project. Though these parties have valid points, the proposed bill provides measures to counteract an environmental disaster, and the skeptics are going off of reports from the 1970s which drastically need to be revised. The advantages to offshore drilling greatly outweigh the disadvantages. If oil is found off the coast of South Carolina, consumers could see a drop in fuel prices as well as added economic stimulus to South Carolina. South Carolina is expected to receive 50% of all oil profits. The most immediate result of offshore drilling would be an oil refinery plant in South Carolina, which could create many jobs. Oil is not the only gain of offshore drilling. When oil is found, natural gas is often found with it. If a pipeline for natural gas were to run to a fertilizer plant in Augusta, for instance, the production cost of fertilizer would decrease, also decreasing the necessity of shipping for natural gas. This would in turn lower the cost of fertilizers for farmers. Lower fuel and fertilizer prices could have a major positive impact on the agriculture industry. Higher fuel and fertilizer prices affect the cost of production for a farmer, which in turn jeopardizes the farmer's ability to stay in business. The possibility of offshore drilling is in the near future for South Carolina. Many people have argued the pros and cons of such a project. What these people need to realize is offshore drilling will ultimately lower food prices for consumers by lowering production prices for farmers. The bottom line about offshore drilling is this: if it is found to be economically feasible and environmentally safe, then the benefits of such a project for the agriculture industry are immeasurable.